Hey, look at that right there. See that? 1943 steel penny. What do you think? That's only worth about 30 cents. But if you find a 1943 penny that's made out of copper, it's worth like, you know, $20,000 in that condition right there. So 1943. See how it's sticking to a magnet? That means it's not worth very much. If you get a 1943 penny that doesn't stick to a magnet, then you just made yourself a lot of money. These gloves I wear, they look really ratty, but were a brand new pair of weightlifting gloves, so they're super heavy duty, and they've held up for a lot longer than any gloves I've ever owned. But they're wet, so I'm gonna fashion myself a nice pair of gloves. So there they are. Not a bad pair of gloves. This is my stash hole. A lot of my new subscribers probably haven't seen this yet. I put it in a video a couple months ago, but I think actually someone came and took 2 of my totes. I had 3 totes here. But I'll put that one there. Take this one that was still there. And I'll take this copper wire with me, because it doesn't take up any room. It's real easy to carry. So now I'm about 1.5 miles away from that scrapyard. So I'll just pop in here and grab that stuff one of these days here in the near future and take it to the scrapyard. Look at that. Someone cleaned out my stash hole. I thought there was 2 buckets missing from the day before when I stashed that stuff there. Now I came back the next day and everything's gone now. Oh well. That's why I just put like tin and stuff there. And it wasn't anything real valuable, so it's not really that big of a deal. And I kind of expected it. Check that out. Second dumpster after I realized my stash hole got cleaned out. And that makes up for it, plus some. See, like this stuff here, I always take stuff like this home. I don't ever leave stuff like that sitting out. But like that tin and that stuff that I had there that got taken, that wasn't that big of a deal. And, you know, I was expecting that to happen eventually, so I could really care less. But yeah, that's a nice. Most of it's low grade, but that's still good stuff. I can get number 2 for it at one of the scrap yards, as long as I cut all the ends off. So yeah, there's quite a bit in there too. So that'll work. There was actually, this is what I showed in the dumpster, and there was actually a whole, well, I put some more in there. I think this is about what I showed in the dumpster, thereabouts. But then there was this whole other box full of stuff, and there was so much there. There was people walking to their cars in that parking lot and stuff. So when I find something very valuable like this, I'll just grab it and put it into my possession and get out of there as quickly as possible, really, because all it takes is someone to walk up and just say, you know, just tell you to leave, and you know, you just, at that point you got to leave. So you know, if they say put that back in the dumpster, or if you haven't got it out of the dumpster yet and they tell you to leave, you know, you just got to leave. So when you find stuff like this, just snatch it up and go to some other location. And because there's a scrapyard I can go to where I can get number 2 insulated for all this stuff. Most scrapyards will give low grade copper insulated wire for this stuff. It's like looks like a lot of phone related wires and stuff, communications wires, it looks like. But there's one scrapyard I can go to. If I just cut all the ends off, which there's very few ends on this, I'll get number 2 insulated for it, and it'll be about 50 or 60 cents a pound. And let's see how much this weighs. I'm gonna say that's somewhere in the ballpark of 60 pounds. That's really packed in that box. And so that's not bad. Not bad at all. 60 pounds times 50 cents would be $30. 60 pounds times 60 cents would be $36. So that's scores like that that make up for all the cat poop I find. I'm gonna stuff it in there. See how I got very little stuff in there, maybe 2 inches in there, and I'm gonna stomp it all down in this and see if it all fits in there. There it is. I got up there and jumped up and down on it. You see how much that tote is spread out. It actually might be closer to 70 pounds. It's really hard to tell without a scale. But there's a little bit of garbage in here. Whatever this thing was, like a little label maker, had a little gold-plated circuit board sticking off the side of it. So it's not real valuable, but they're never really easy to take off. I always snatch them things up. Just throw it in with my gold-plated lot. Sell on eBay. I'll never set that out in a stash hole anywhere. I always take that home. It could be $40 worth of stuff right there, so no problem hauling that around. And this garbage, I'll just take back here and see all these old tires and stuff, and I'll just throw it in the weeds like that and just be done with it, you know. I'm just kidding. You know, I gotta make this entertaining, you know. I mean, you can't just sit here and listen to me blab on forever, you know. There it is. And they've recently redone this little area. It's kind of like a little natural lagoon type place. And it's usually loaded with toads. And yep, this time of year there's all those little what do you call them, pollywogs, or what do you call them? Okay, I'm drawing a blank. Tadpoles, little tiny ones. I don't know if you can see down in there. They're all over the place in there. And here in about a month or a few weeks, this place will just be going nuts with little toads. There's a good shot of this bunch of them. But, I mean, it's loaded, and there might be millions of these things in there. And these toads, when they come out and start singing, they sound like sheep. For like a couple years, I'd drive through here, and I thought there was a field of sheep back in there grazing or something, you know. I thought someone had a bunch of sheep back there, because it turned out to just be these toads. They just they sound like sheep. It's kind of weird, but it took me a while to figure out what was going on. So I was like, sheep? I've never seen any sheep back there. But yeah, they made this little area. It's pretty cool. Not sure how long that's gonna last, but check that out. This used to be some kind of artist studio. I don't know if it still is or not, but there's a statue made out of scrap metal. There's another little one right here. I don't think it's an artist studio anymore. It could be. Vacuum cleaner action. Yeah, I got to thinking, you know, if I just put a bunch of clips together, you know, it could look like I'm making a ton of money doing this, you know, or I could put a bunch of clips together just showing cat poop and tea bags and rotten food and make it look like I'm not making anything. So the real deal is it's in between those two, you know. One day you might find very little, and the next day you might find a lot. It's just kind of a random deal. Got some aluminum chair action, and that one actually is about 2 or 3 times heavier than the typical aluminum lawn chair, or not lawn chair, but deck chair, whatever you want to call it. It's made out of some heavy-duty aluminum right there. Well, that was supposed to fall, but oh, there we go. Yeah, that's a heavy-duty dude right there. That's a nice little score right there. This entire thing is going to be aluminum, except for these are usually, wow, those are usually, yeah, it is. Those are tin. That's actually it's like a, oh, you know what it is? It's aluminum, but inside there's going to be a metal rod, because it's barely sticking. Yeah, there's a metal rod in there. The rest of this frame is pure aluminum. That's a nice score. That probably weighs, that's heavy. It's heavy for a deck chair. Oh, that's close to 40 pounds. 35 pounds probably. It's nice. All I have to do is just take this out and take that fabric off. Actually, there's one scrapyard I don't even have to take the fabric off. They'll give me clean aluminum for it. But most scrapyards will make you take out that. There's gonna be like a little tin or steel rod running through there, and that's no big deal to get out. I could probably just kick it out. If that fabric wasn't there, it'd have came out by now. There it goes. See, that's no big deal. Let's do the same thing over there. That'll be clean aluminum, ready to go. And a lot of times these things will be so rotten, you can just rip. See how this is ripping out of there? That won't be. Sometimes they're tricky to get out of there, but scrapyard I'm gonna take this to. Well, usually just give me. See how rotten that is? See how easy that came off there? Ready to roll. Fits on there pretty good. It's not a bad load, really. Probably 35 to 40 pounds of aluminum, 60 to 70 pounds of insulated copper wire, and a fan motor. Pretty good. Yay! That's actually about a $50 little package I got there. I wish they could all be like that. Oh yeah, and another thing I wanted to point out is a lot of the stuff I get, you know, I never even bring to my storage unit. You know, if it's before 5 o'clock and the scrap yards are open, you know, like if it was before 5 right now, I wouldn't even mess around with this. I'd just take it directly to the scrap yard. So, I don't know. I don't think I've ever really pointed that out before. What do you think? It's too wet to go scrapping, Chris? Yeah. A little too wet, huh? Well, I went up to Walmart, and of course I ran my Walmart route, and I didn't find 80 flat screen TVs tonight, but I did find the usual suspects. A couple aluminum pots. That was kind of neat, really. Look at it. They're all well worn. Stainless steel pan or pot, whatever you want to call it. RCA DVD player. I'll take that in and have a closer look at it, see if it's working. An iron that's well used. A blender motor, of course. Wouldn't be a day without a blender motor. And an AT&T home wireless phone system that looks like it's pretty good condition. I got the box wet in my tote, but it looks like it's really nice, so I'll check that out too. Came home and put that wire and that ceiling fan and that chair in my storage unit, and then just went up to Walmart, and my day's pretty much done, but you know, I just ran that short route on the way home, and that's what I got. You know, I almost paid for my Walmart food with that stuff right there. That's about half my grocery bill right there. Just on the way home, just snatch that stuff up. Wow, and scrap metal. it would be about half my grocery bill. I didn't buy that many groceries, but if that DVD player works and if that phone system works, it's actually, I actually paid for my groceries, maybe times 2 or times 3, depending on how much that phone system's worth. I only got hamburger buns and pickles and french fries and ranch and olives and tomato juices, only like $10, so I guess I should explain that part. What do you think, baby? Oh, it's wet out there? No scrapping tonight, huh? What do you think, baby? Oh, it's wet. Let's go inside. Let's go inside.